My name is Roger. I am a student at University of British Columbia. I'm a double major in sociology and major in family studies. I play guitar. I'm restoring an electric guitar right now. I bike a lot, mostly out of necessity because I don't have a car. Just like spending time with friends and hanging out. From an outsider's point of view, like cosplay is pretty obvious. It's someone in costume, so something different from like Gap or like American Eagle or whatever people wear during the day.
When anime fans really like an anime character or video game fans really like a video game character, they like to dress up as them, kind of like portraying your idols. And they go to anime conventions and they show off their costumes and they basically socialize and do skits and stuff.
Some people, I think they can buy a pre-made costume that they don't make themselves, and then they wear it, and that's cosplay for them. That's the hobby. That's the experience for them. Other people, they could just wear a wacky hat, and then that'll be it. And for other people, such as myself, I like to I like to know that I put effort and time into the costume I made, and that I could take pride in what I wear. And for me, that's cosplay.
From anime websites I went to, I was like, well, cool, these people are dressing up like these characters. And yeah, that's when I started actually doing some cosplay of my own. I tried for Halloween once, just because I missed the anime convention the year before. I was upset about that. And so I made a costume and I wore it for Halloween. It was Naru-san from Love Hina. It was basically just a regular university student woman.
Hi, my name is Richard Kwan, and I'm a fourth year computer science student at UBC. I'll be moving to Edmonton this summer for a work placement at TELUS. My hobbies include surfing the net, playing video games, ballroom dancing, salsa dancing, hiking, snowboarding, photography, watching anime, and of course cosplaying.
It was the Halloween of 2002, so it was high school, and a couple of friends and I were thinking, hey, let's dress up for Halloween. But we were all familiar with the game Final Fantasy VIII, or just the Final Fantasy franchise. It was quite big. So we thought, hey, just for fun, let's just all dress up as characters like that. So I had no experience. I just played the game and I know what the character looked like, Squall. And so the majority of it was just a leather black jacket, which I had. It was a hand-me-down from my dad. And then black pants, boots, some leather belts I grabbed from the Salvation Army thrift store. Um, and probably the most original aspect of it was the weapon, which was like the gun blade. And that's the thing about like video games or anime. It's like these designers come up with all these absolutely outlandish designs that you can't, you have to make yourself, which is part of the challenge. And so, and that I made out of cardboard. So, and a toy gun I bought from the dollar store. Yeah, and that was it. And it was fun, and it was a memorable experience. So.
My dad, he does a lot of hardware stuff, so he has a lot of tools lying around. All this stuff that we use, like he has like a weird Dremel gun or something, basically makes these little holes. And basically we take whatever's lying around and if it does the job, we'll take it. And yeah, my dad likes to do a lot of home hardware stuff. And my mom likes to do a lot of sewing. So I take her sewing machine and I sew my costumes. The whole costume was a ninja outfit. I wore this in my head. And then it was basically just black with like a logo emblem in the back, and I wore bandages, and I had like sports, kind of like when you sprain your ankle, you get those like sports bandages. Yeah, I had one of those in my arms too, and yeah, I had face paint on too. Basically, most of the costume I got from sellers. Basically, looked at outfits that kind of looked like it, and I bought those, and then I had to resew them to make it look more like the anime. Me and my friends actually made these in my backyard right over there. And we got these tin foil sheets from Home Depot, and we basically took shearing cutters and cut around it and just made the shape that we wanted. I took these logos from online. So I made little stencils and we spray painted those. Apparently you can buy these for really cheap now at Toys R Us because the anime became popular in North America.
First year actually went as Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII. He was a tough project because partly because it was the first leap from that informal Halloween cosplaying to a full-on project. And for myself, I've noticed that I have I have very high standards for my costumes. I like to know that, first of all, it's accurate to how that character appears in games or anime. And also I tried my best and used the best materials and resources that I had to achieve that similarity between my costume and the character. For Vincent Valentine, it was the most obscure thing was that he had a metallic claw as a left hand. Like each claw I had to make and then paint gold, and they're actually quite sharp. And then this part would basically, like, the glove would go in there. So it would look something akin like this. So, oh man, it's really run down over time. Yeah, so I had to wear this for like 3 days, and that was unbearable. He had like metal shieldings for his feet and like a cloak, so it was very, very intricate. It was my first time making one, so it was an interesting challenge. Exactly, yeah. And then it also had all these fancy belt buckles as well. So those I had to get from, I think, the Army and Navy, and cut them in half. There's actually a clasp that I just made out of cutting a coat hanger and sewing it on with fish wire. So yeah, it's nice and easy. So this comes together, and then all of these buckles buckle up. So with any costume, the materials and the resources can literally come from anywhere. Like for that project, I remember going to obviously the dollar store, the hardware store, the fabric store, secondhand stores. I went to the costume bazaar for a wig. I went to my old drama teacher from high school because he had stock rifle parts that I could use. I had to dig around my own home for leather for the boots. Sheet metal I bought from a metal shop, and also each character had a weapon that we were going to bring, and I wanted to make like a full-on rifle, like a full like large rifle, and that was something noteworthy as well. This stock part was from the drama teacher, and then this is some plywood I had lying around in the garage, and this is actually a staircase banister that my friend had. So I grabbed that and then I sanded it down to a point. This tubing I got from the Home Depot, and there were wings that were on top. There's a handgun. Every single weapon is piece bonded at the convention with, you know, something like that, and that's how security guards know that it's not a real weapon. It took like everything, including the rifle and all that, probably like a good month and a half. I may not be working on the costume per se, but I may be out on the bus, like, or transport and like going to places grabbing stuff, you know, or the time that I'm not spending on costume, I'm thinking about it, you know, and it seems kind of strange. It's almost to the point of obsession, but like your mind's always clicking and worrying on like, oh, what if I approach it this way? Or like, what if I use that material or this technique, you know? And so your brain is always messing around with different ideas. So, I mean, whether you can dock that time to actual costume making or not is something that's debatable, I think.